All right, well, I guess it lasted as long as it could, and it looks like they're unveiling plans now to finally end this Canada Post strike while the government is stepping in and saying, no, enough is enough. They thought they were on your side. No, they're not. They're here to put a stoppage to this. And honestly, I was hoping it wouldn't go this way. I would have rather them came to some sort of agreement. I think when the government has to step in and force the hand, I don't think it's good for either side because there's going to be more contention, and I've talked about that in the last video, and I just think that both sides are not going to be happy about this. I mean, I guess Canada Post will probably be more happy than the workers. And honestly, if I have parcels, I'm going to be kind of reluctant to even use Canada Post at this point because they don't want to go back to work. They are being forced to go back to work, and they may not be happy with that. In fact, I probably wouldn't be happy with that either. Let's take a look at a few articles here. This is from the Toronto Star. It says, federal government orders end to Canada Post strike while commission tries to reach new contract. We're calling a timeout, Federal Labor Minister asking CIRB to appoint commission to come up with ways to reach new contract by May 22nd. So that gives them quite a lot of time, but they still are being forced to go back to work in the meantime, it looks like.
I'm hobbled. I don't think I can do my route. And they're awarding the transfer in 2 days.
But what if I delivered it?
You? You can't deliver mail?
Why not?
I guess you're right. It's just walking around putting it into boxes.
The federal government is asking the Canadian Industrial Relations Board to order an end to the strike by 55,000 Canada Post workers. On Friday morning, Federal Labor Minister Steve McKinnon announced he's asking the board to order Canada Post employees back to work, and he's appointing an industrial inquiry commission which will have until May 22nd to probe potential ways to reach a new contract agreement. Now, this is Toronto Star. It's pretty brief. There's actually a more in-depth article here on CTV that I'm going to get to right here. The Canada Post strike could end as early as next week. Canada Post Labor Minister has asked the federal board to review the state of negotiations and, if it sees fit, order striking postal workers back to work. In simple terms, McKinnon said he believes negotiations are not working. It will be up to Canada Industrial Relations Board to decide if it agrees. If it does, it will force an end to the strike. Postal workers began their strike 4 weeks ago, halting mail and package deliveries across the country. If they're forced to resume, staff will continue work under the current collective agreement until May 22nd, 2025. The two parties still have the chance to come up with their own agreement, but that will need to happen soon. The union has denounced the move, calling it an assault on its bargaining rights. So I don't know if you guys, do you think it's an assault on the bargaining rights? Again, this is why I didn't want it to get to this point. I didn't want them to be forced to go back to work. I'd rather them, come to a less contentious falling out point, right? This is not good. Additionally, McKinnon is ordering an inquiry into why negotiations fell apart. That inquiry will result in recommendations on how the corporation and its union can negotiate more productively in the future. We're calling a timeout, said McKinnon. He says Indigenous peoples and those in remote communities have already suffered as a result of the strike. Holiday revenue streams for small businesses and charities have also impacted. My bosses are Canadians and Canadians who are suffering unduly in this dispute. What's the holdup? Wages, job security, and minimum hours are the centerpiece of the negotiating table for the union. Cup W said it came to the table this week with a downgraded wage hike demand, 19% over 4 years, down from a previous ask of 24%, and requests for medical days, disability payments, and improved rights for temporary workers. Canada Post has said the union's requests are too expensive, especially after 6 years of financial losses. Added up, all the demands in Cup W's latest offers would cost more than $3 billion over 4 years, reads Canada Post's most recent negotiations update published on Wednesday. Canada Post has not publicly responded to McKinnon's announcement. If you want to see the announcement, here it is. This is it being read on TikTok. This is the video on TikTok if you guys want to see it.
After months of conciliation and mediation supported by the Federal Mediation and Conciliation Service, work stoppages, and the subsequent appointment of a special mediator to assist with the negotiation of their new collective agreements, Canada Post and the Canadian Union of Postal Workers remain unable to reach an agreement. Canadians are rightly fed up.
Yeah, so People are not happy about this, and you guys definitely left some comments for me to read, so I'm going to get to that right now and see your thoughts on this. They tried to pull a fast one. They tried to hold Christmas shipping hostage to try and get what they want. They pulled a page out of the U.S. Dock Workers Union. This type of stupidity should be penalized. Sad to hear this. The fact that 75% of expenses are salaries is the proof that they get paid too much. A real country needs a reliable postal system, and I don't disagree with that. That is 100% true. And it would be nice to have multiple postal systems, not just one that you have to rely on, because this could happen in the future. Not the employees. Kick the union out. Everything will be okay. So even some employees I've seen before are commenting on the union, and they're upset about the union as well and how they handled this. I hope CP has fun with all the backlog. Yeah, and being forced to get back to work, I don't think they're going to be really happy about that, but also I don't think they're going to be like ready to work, to be honest. If like you're going to get forced to go back to work and you already know you have a backlog, it was already coming, right? It would make it feel a lot better to get back to work once you get like a nice fat raise. This being said is going to be brutal during the holiday season. It's going to be even worse than last year for them. I have $1,000 worth of items stuck with Canada Post coming from the States. If my stuff gets stuck there forever and gone, so be it. Don't negotiate with either the union or Canada Post itself. The whole thing needs to be reformed. Our small business is down 50% compared to last year due to the strike. We have been going for over 20 years and made it through the 2008-2009 Great Recession, but don't know if we are going to make it through this. We live in a rural area and the only option is Canada Post. The only good thing that's going to come from this strike is that they will never be able to do this again. The USPS delivers 7 days a week and is deemed an essential service, which the union rep of Canada Post is already on record saying they were an essential service during COVID and are not allowed to strike. Make Canada Post essential in 2025. So maybe they can legislate that in the future. But as of right now, yes, they seem like an essential service, but they're able to go on strike right now, and they were able to do it for 4 weeks, but it looks like the hammer is being hit and they're going to be forced to get back to work, and they have to stay within their same contract until May 22nd, 2025. Let me know your thoughts about all the breaking news today. It is wild. And again, if you want your comments being read in the next video, leave it down below and maybe you'll see it in the next video. Anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.